guys, welcome to this week's free YouTube lesson. This week I've been jamming over a kind of unusual substitution over a 2-5-1. So the principal basic chord progression that we're dealing with then is a 2-5-1 in G minor. So typically that would be A minor at 7 flat 5, going to D7 altered of some kind, going to G minor or G minor major 7. Now what I've done instead in this backing track is I've substituted both the 2 chord and the 5 chord for some substitutions that come from harmonic major theory. So it was really just an experiment and it came out kind of cool, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. And it all relies on the 3rd mode of the harmonic major scale, the one that people quite commonly refer to as Phrygian flat 4. But for this, I'm kind of thinking of it as an altered scale with a natural 5, Super Locrian Nat5 essentially. So just to go through the notes in that scale, if we're in A, for instance, we'd have the root, we'd have a flat 9, we'd have a sharp 9, we'd have the major 3rd, straight up to the perfect 5th, flat 6, or flat 13 if you want to think of it as that, minor 7, and then we're back to the root. So it really depends on how you think of it, whether you think of it as coming from a Phrygian point of view or whether it's a Super Locrian point of view. For me, for this anyway, it was definitely a Super Locrian viewpoint because it's kind of cool in that it's got all of the altered tones except for the tritone, and it also has a natural 5. So if whoever's playing the chords is playing a dominant 7 with a natural 5, but maybe a flat 9 or a sharp 9 or something else, you can always play this scale over the top and it'll always work. So in the backing track then, essentially what we've got, in place of the A minor 7 flat 5 chord, we've got what is essentially a dominant 7 with a natural 5 and both the sharp 9 and the major 3rd. And then we take that through to the 5 chord, which would be a D7 altered of sorts, and I've used basically the same chords, so it's a D7 with a natural 5, a minor 3rd or a sharp 9 if you want to think of it as that, and a major 3rd as well. So really, essentially what it is a 2-5-1 where we've made all of the chords dominant 7 chords, but then instead of playing them all as dominant 7 chords with the associated scales, we're playing them all as Super Locrian Nat5 chords. So I'm just going to fire up this backing track and just play the scales over the respective chords so you can kind of hear where they're supposed to come in, just in case there's any confusion on that. So we're going to start off on the 1 chord and then we'll come back round to the A dominant 7 chord in a second. A, D, and G. So hopefully that was fairly straightforward. It was just the same Super Locrian Nat5 scale on both the A chord and the D chord. So that's the 2 chord and the 5 chord, I should say. And over the 1 chord, over the G minor 7 chords, I was basically just playing G Dorian because there's a whole lot of tension going on in the 2 prior chords, so it kind of makes sense to have quite a lot of resolution when we hit the G minor 7 chord. Cool, head over to bondtuition.co.uk, go to the free lessons section and you can jam over this backing track. Hope you have some fun with it and I'll see you all next week.